What's going on? We all right? What happened? Do I have jizz on my shirt? The guy was really nice. What happened? I got a hair out of place?
Oh, fix his hair.
Yeah, fix my hair. Oh, thank you. That'll do it. Now, you know what that is? That's a reel right there. Bang! That's more important than the special. Let's get a nice reel. Comedian, hair gets done. 300,000 views.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe List.
Thanks. Well, thanks. All right. Well, thank you. That's very nice. All right. Thank you. I feel like I got here too quick. I should have let you guys. I should really let it like, ah. It's just stupid when I'm standing here and you're doing it. I'm like, I should have like, that should have been going on. I'm like weaving through. And like, ah. It's weird doing a special at a comedy club because I'm getting ready to come up and I'm just like right there. You guys can just see me. There's like, oh, there he is. Like when you go see Springsteen, you're not like, this is gonna rule. There he is, he's at the end of the row. He's in our row right now. He's just like, hey. Oh, here, it's my time, here we go, you know? Next year, we're gonna build a thing. I'm gonna pop up like Apollo Creed, you know? And then die. No, this lady's going like this. Don't die. I'll try not to. I would be more upset than you would if I died, you know? All right, well, nice to see everybody. I feel like I recognize a lot of people. Thanks for coming. I know you, right? Yeah, we met. This is where I'm at in my career right now. After shows, like really like hot women will come up to me after the show and they're like, hey, excuse me, hi. And I'm like, oh, hey. And then she's like, my autistic boyfriend loves you. I didn't get it. I thought it was a little dirty and weird, but he loved it. And can he say hi? And he's just like, and I'm like, oh, hey, thanks. You know? You guys are getting beautiful women somehow. I don't know how you're doing it, but nice. Anyways, thanks for coming. You guys ever have this? Is this relatable? You ever think you're like a pretty good-looking person, and then you see a photo of yourself, and you think, I should kill myself for the good of society? You guys... Like you're at home looking in the mirror, and you're like, hey, not bad. And then someone tags a photo of you on Instagram, and you're like, maybe I'll go to the center of town and shoot myself in the face tomorrow, just to let everyone know that I know this is unacceptable. You guys... There's too many photos. That's the problem. I wish I grew up in like the 30s where there's one photo of you your whole life. If it sucks, you just burn it, you know? Every day there's like 5 new photos of me online. I just want to die. Your friends try to make you feel better. They're always sweet. They're like, it's just a bad photo. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, but it's a bad photo because I'm in it though, right? Like, it's not a blurry photo. It's a 4K HD color photograph of exactly what my face looks like. You're saying it's bad because it's a perfect replica of what I currently look like. It's just me. You're telling me my face is bad. That's what's going on right now. I don't know. I got a friend. He's ugly. We were talking the other day, and I feel bad saying that, but he's not here, so. We were hanging out, and I have a hot friend, too. I have a hot friend and an ugly friend. I have many friends, but two friends in this joke, and one's hot and the other one's ugly. And my ugly friend was talking about how he can't get laid, and then we had to pretend it's not because he's ugly. Do you guys ever do that for your friend? He's like, oh, no one's having sex with me. We're like, what? These bitches, man. What the hell? Then he goes to the bathroom and we're like, why does he think someone would have sex with him? That's hilarious. What? It's because he's hideous. Then he comes back. My hot friend starts giving him advice. Nobody wants advice from a hot person. No offense if you're hot. I'm looking around. There's a couple of you here, but not many. And he says this. He goes, you need more confidence. And I'm like, no, he needs your face. That's why you're confident, because you have a good face. He has a bad one. And he says, this is hot people advice. He goes, this is what I do. I just walk up to women in the park, start talking to them. Then my ugly friend gets hope. He's like, I can do that? And then I had to be the one that was like, don't do that. You're gonna get maced if you walk up to women in the park. Are you kidding? He can do that because he has a strong jawline and he's tan and his tongue is not visible when he's talking to other people the way yours is. I'm like, you can get laid. I don't know how you're gonna get laid. You can do it. Everyone gets laid at some point, I think. I have sex all the time. I'm not a hot guy. You're probably like, well, how do you do? I got married. That's how I did it. That's my advice. People say when you get married, you stop having sex, but I think that's only true if you're like a hot dude that like, you know, smashes puss or whatever. If you're like a hot guy that gets laid all the time, don't get married. You'll have sex less. But if you never get laid, get married. You'll have sex more. Like, what's the hardest part of getting laid? You got to convince somebody to come back to your house. You got to be like, come on, my house is fun and safe, you know? That's hard. Women are like, I don't know. You're like, I swear, promise, you know? That's like tricky. I don't have to do that. My wife lives in my house. I don't have to do anything. I can just turn and be like, you want to have sex? And that works. Not every time. I don't want you to think, you know. It works like 3 out of 10 times. That's not bad. I'm a baseball guy. That's all-star team, you know? You do that for 10, 15 years, you're in the Hall of Fame, so. That's pretty good. It's hard to get laid. I feel bad. I was like, when I was single, I didn't get laid much. And I feel bad for women that have sex with men. We're not great. I'm sorry. I would talk to my buddies. I'm like, I gotta get laid. How are you guys doing it? And then my friend would be like, you're too nice. That's your problem. That's the best advice I got, was be less nice. That's like the best idea men have come up with to get laid. Like, be shittier. Which is more hot people advice, by the way. I'm like, I don't think I have the look for that advice. If I'm mean to a woman, she's gonna be like, this ugly guy sucks. What's up with him? Why is he being mean? Like, I'm like, which one of you bitches wants to blow me? Huh? Like, they're like, oh. But he was right. I was probably too nice. You can be too nice. I would always be like, you're so beautiful. I'll give you money if you have sex with me. And that's like, that's too nice, you know? That's borderline offensive. And I got a buddy. He's like one of these guys. He gets laid all the time. He's like a good-looking guy or whatever. And I was talking to him the other day about sex, and he goes, if I have sex with a woman, she's got to have perky breasts. That feels unfair, doesn't it? I mean, like, having a breast preference is fine, but perky, that's not even a physical adjective. Perky's like a mood. Perky's like, hi, you know? A breast can't be perky. That's like a woman be like, I'll have sex with a guy, but he's gonna have a chipper dick. I want blissful balls on our man, or else I like a patriotic asshole on my man. You're like, let's. But I have a wife, and we have sex. I think she's attracted to me, you know? I'm attracted to her. I think she's hot. I took a photo of her the other day. She looked great. She was all made up, and like the sun was hitting her. She looked beautiful. And then I posted on Instagram, and then every comment was like, wow, she's hot. She's out of your league, bro. She's beautiful. How'd you pull that off? And I'm like, you could just say you think she's attractive. You don't have to add that you think I'm unattractive. That's not making me feel great. Also, that's the best photo I have of her. I could post a shittier photo, I got plenty of overhead lighting photos I could have thrown up there, Those comments would start swinging back in my direction. They're like, you guys are pretty evenly matched. I'm like, you're goddamn right we are. Thank you. People love to say that, though. I don't know why. It's like, they think it's like charming to be like, you married up, out of your league. You're like, oh, thanks. First of all, it's inaccurate. We're in the same league. We're married. That's the same league. We're on the same team. No one ever laughs at that, but I think it's a good point. Like, once you're married, you're on the same team. And also, you can be on a team with different value. Like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' backup punter, they're in the same league. They don't have the same value. Again, you're not the first crowd to not laugh at this, but it's a good point. And here's a better point. Like, my wife is better looking than me, but I'm like, there's more to a league than looks. Like, she's better looking. I'm way more fun. You should hang out with us. I'm like zinging and zanging and shit. I'm like dancing and doing karaoke. She's depressed. She sucks. I'm bringing the heat. I bring it in the hang. I got like secret handshakes and nicknames. I'm like, hey, wacky tits, what's up? Wow. I'm always ordering pizza. I'm like, who wants pizza? I'm getting pizza. On me. She's like, get one with veggies. I'm like, oh, fine. That's not fun. I'm not saying she's not fun. I'm saying I'm more fun. Like here's what I go to Starbucks every day and I use the app, and then when you scan the app, it goes boop. I go like this. I go, ooh. That's gold. You guys are laughing a little. They shit their pants at Starbucks. They're like, what? And I'm like, That's the kind of fun I'm bringing to the hang, I did it the other day, though, and this sounds made up, but this really happened. I went, boop, I went, and then the lady went, that happened to somebody earlier. And I was like, who's this asshole doing my bit? That's mine. Are you serious? I'm a fun guy, I swear to God. I used to be more fun. I used to drink. That's when I was like really fun, So, drinking's like synonymous with fun. Like I was like wild and get after, but I was like a risky fun, you know what I mean? Like I'd do karaoke, I'd take my shirt off and like throw it in the crowd. But then I'd go to your house and shit on the floor. It was kind of like ups and downs, strikes and gutters. You ever get this drunk? You ever get like drunk where you're holding a drink or a cocktail and then you drop it, but nobody like bumped into you or anything like that? You're just kind of like, and you're like, hey, I'm not holding that anymore. You gotta go back to the bar and be like, can I get another drink? Mine just committed suicide a couple seconds ago. And it's almost like your hands gave you an intervention. Like your fingers are like, let's put this down. I don't think he needs this anymore. I've been sober a long time. Every once in a while, I'll get like a message. Someone will reach out to me on Instagram. They're like, how did you know you were an alcoholic? And then I have to write back, let me help you out. You're an alcoholic. I feel like... I think if you're reaching out to strangers on Instagram to find out about alcoholism, it's probably time to wrap it up, I don't want to be judgmental, but... I don't drink anymore. I don't do drugs anymore. I was never a big drug guy. I would like smoke weed, but I never liked weed. Are you guys weed people? Some? Oh, nice. Yeah, that's great. A few of you. I never liked it. I would always like freak out. Also, this is my issue with weed. You always like smoke in like a circle of like friends or strangers, and then you pass around like a joint or a piece or a pipe or a bong or an apple, whatever. And then it would come to you, and you'd be like, all right, the weed. Yeah. And then you pass it, you're like, all right, there goes the weed. Fun. But then it comes back like 30 seconds later, you're like, oh, more weed, all right. And then you're like, I'm buzzed. And then it would come back like 3, 4, 5 times. By the end, I'm like, I'm just completely out of my mind. I don't know if you guys, I don't know why we're still doing this. And eventually the guy on the other side of the circle would be like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, I didn't know we could do that. I have no... Nobody told me that was part of this. You're like Rosa Parks or some shit. You just like opened up a world of possibility. I'm gonna be sleeping under my bed for the next 3 days because I had no idea that I could be like, oh. I'm still fun though. I'll eat ice cream any time of day. You know what I mean? Like I don't do drugs or drink, but I'll eat ice cream in the daytime. That's fun. I guess not. I was eating ice cream. I met up with my buddy. I was eating ice cream, and then he was like, "Why are you eating ice cream?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's fun." And then he was like, "I thought we were going to lunch." And I was like, "We are." And he's like, "Why are you eating ice cream then? What are you, a child?" And I was annoyed. I was like, "No, I'm an adult. I eat ice cream whenever I want to eat ice cream. A child is not allowed to eat ice cream during the day." Sounds like you're a child, you little bitch. You're living by your mother's rules from when you were 7. What, are you gonna have a couple of vegetables before you can have a scoop, you big pussy? I'm fun to watch movies with. You guys should watch a movie with me. You probably won't get a chance to, but I'm like... I always have great lines during the movie. I don't step on the dialogue either. I'm like, in between dialogue, I'll be like, and the person next to me is like, you know? That's fun. Here's one of my best. I'll give you one of my best, like all-timers. First time I saw The Shining. You guys saw The Shining, right? Classic? Yeah. First time I saw it, I was in like 7th grade. I watched it with like a group of friends. At the very beginning of the movie, they're like driving up into the mountains. Shelley Duvall, she says to Jack Nicholson, "The air is different up here." And then I went, "I farted." Kill! Everybody was like, "Oh, classic list." And I was like, To this day, anytime I'm with a group of people, I'm like, "You guys want to throw on The Shining? Anybody want to watch The Shining real quick?" Like, this is my son's birthday. He's 6 years old. I'm like, "Put it on for 5 minutes. He'll laugh. We'll turn it off before the naked dead lady comes out, all right? It's gonna be big." You're making me nervous. I saw you elbow each other. What's going on? Is my dick out? Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's hot. Oh, I got you. Sorry. It's probably me. It's always awkward. There's like 2 hot women in the front, like, and I'm like, what? Do they see my boner? Anyways, my wife's, I'm attracted to her. I think she's attracted to me, and, my wife's 4 years older than me. That's hot, don't you think? That's kind of, yeah, that's... Oh my God, your wish is my command. The air just came on. That was like... Who else needs something? Anybody? That was like magical. There's like 2 women like, "I'm a little hot," and just AC, just bang. That's what it's like to be a fucking woman in this country. Okay, you fucking say something, everybody. Whoa. What if I did the rest of the show like that? You fucking, hey, you fucking, pow. I'll smack you around a little bit. I wish I could go back to the beginning of my life and just go full Italian. Hey. The fuck, hey, what the, oh. Anyways, and cut. Guys, I'm not trying to get a special. I'm trying to get reels here. I gotta catch up to these reels, folks. My wife's 4 years older than me, which I think is like sexy. I think it's like, when I was in 8th grade, my wife was a senior in high school. That's pretty spicy, you know? We didn't know each other then. She's not a criminal or anything, but... I wish I could go back to that time period. I'd love to like go back, like my wife's like senior year. I'm in 8th grade, you know? I'd love to walk up to her at her senior prom. I'm like covered in pimples in a Pearl Jam shirt. And I just walk up behind her and I'm like, "Someday I'm gonna see your butthole." And then I just run away. Wouldn't that be fun? She's like, "What the hell?" And then I would run back in and I'm like, "You won't see my butthole, by the way. It's not a fair trade-off. I see hers. She never sees mine." Do you guys have that in your relationships? Yeah. Have you seen his butthole? Oh. She never sees mine. I see hers, and I feel like I should be clear. We have sex, and sometimes we have doggy-style sex. Sex in the style of dog. And when you have doggy-style sex, I don't know if you know this, but whoever's on the bottom, their butthole is sort of exposed. And I don't stare. I don't want you to. I'm not rude. I just kind of like, you know, just a quick 3 Mississippis at max, you know. I look at it the way you look at your hand in poker. I'm like. I'll check, you know? And it's nice. It's a beautiful, beautiful hole, you know? But she's never seen mine. I feel bad. I might show her one day. Like maybe some year on her birthday, you know? I'll wake up early and be like, honey, check it out. Look at this. That's all I got you this year. I don't think she'd like it, though. I feel like... I've never looked at my butthole, but when I walk around, it doesn't feel like it looks good, you know? Like it feels dry and wet, you know? I lost a lot of you on that one, and that's fair. I'll move off the butthole stuff, but... Isn't it weird that A-hole and B-hole mean the same hole? Isn't that funny? 2 different letters, same hole. Mother Nature's a mad scientist, you know? Anyways, we have sex, and it's fun. We've been together a long time, though. You ever try to, like, I don't know how long my wife and I have been together for, like, 11 years. You ever try to, like, come up with ways to, like, spice things up a little bit, and then in the middle of that conversation, you realize maybe we're not sexually compatible? Have you guys ever had that? No? Well, that's the premise of the joke, so... I was like, let's mix it up. Let's get weird. I had, like, a piece of paper. Like, I wrote down a bunch of shit, like a bucket list of sex stuff. I'm like, let's get weird, you know? She had no piece of paper, so right away I was like, this isn't gonna be great. I can feel it. And I was like, I had my paper. I'm like, what do you got? And then she was like, what if we have sex quietly and pretend there's someone in the other room? And then I just started wrinkling up my piece of paper. I was like, you know what? I don't think we're ready for mine just yet. Quiet sex? That's what you came up with? I don't even think that's a porn category, is it? First of all, we live in New York City. There is someone in the other room. There's like 7 people, like 40 feet from us that can hear us. None of my fantasies are quiet. Mine are noisy, and there's a bunch of people involved. She's related to a handful of them. She's like, what's one of yours? I couldn't even do mine. I had to improvise. I was like, what about Missionary with jazz playing? She was like, ooh, I like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm sick. Then she found my paper. She's like, what's entire basketball team? I'm like, give me that fucking... That was some other shit I was thinking about. I don't know. We were hanging out talking the other day, me and some friends, adult friends, my wife and I and some friends, like adult conversation, talking sex. And then in the middle of the conversation, my wife was like, what's the average penis? Like 8 inches? I was like, I'm sorry, who are you fucking before me? What? 8 inches? And she was like, what? Well, how big is your penis? I think she thought I had an 8 inch, like she's never measured something. I don't know, she thought I had an 8-inch penis. And then I had to tell her, I was like, I have half of an 8-inch penis. I would need a second dick to get to 8 inches. And that made me think, I'm like, do women not know the average penis size? Because if not, we should like crack into WebMD or something like that, you know? Like, put down 2.5 or whatever. That way, if they look it up, you can be like, hey, it's pretty... I'm like, almost double that, so... I like dirty talk. Dirty talk's good in a relationship. That way, like, especially in a relationship, dirty talk is good because, like, you have a sense for the other person, you know? Like you know what they might like to hear. It's hard when you're single, dirty talk. Because when you're single and you're dirty talk, that's just like guessing. You might offend. One time I had sex with a woman when I was single. This was her dirty talk. In the middle of it, she goes, if you don't come, I'm gonna be pissed. That sounds hot, but she didn't know me, you know? Like, I think she thought I was gonna be like, well, get ready to be happy. Or whatever. But I'm like, I can't work under these conditions. I'm a nervous Nelly. And at the time, I was on Paxil for anxiety and depression. That's like a major side effect. I'm like, I can't come at all. It takes me like a week to masturbate. You could shove a shoe in my butt. I'm not coming on this stuff. I want supportive dirty talk. I want like, if you come, that's great. If not, no big deal. You're worthy of love just for being you, you know? Your dad loves you. He doesn't know how to show it. That would be nice. I'd be like, oh my God, yes. I'm self-conscious about my look. I got called ugly in high school, by the way. That's like a lot of this, it comes from when I was in high school, I got called ugly, like publicly. And it really, you know, in high school, something happens that like lingers, you know? Yeah. It was at a girls' basketball game, and I know, we had a great girls' basketball team. This is the 90s, by the way. It was called girls' basketball in the 90s. Now it's called women's basketball. We've progressed. In the 80s, it was called cunts basketball. So every decade we get better, you know? Eventually it'll just be basketball, but for now, progress is slow. But I would go to all the games. We had a great team. I'm like a school spirit guy. I'm a big sports guy, and I would go to all the games. I would like paint my face and shit. I was like I wasn't a cheerleader, but I would lead the cheer. I would get the chants going. I was like the Let's Go Panther. I was like that guy, you know? I feel like a lot of you would have hated me. I'm getting a vibe here, but I had a great time. The team loved me. But at one game, I was getting the chants going, and then this girl from the other school, she started chanting, "You are ugly." Yes. Very hurtful. Thank you. This is 1998. You could totally do that. If you did that now, they'd arrest you or shoot you or whatever. But back then, they were like, nice. Got him. Yeah. But I tried to get a counter chant. I was like, screw this lady. I was like, come on, guys. No, he isn't. I tried to get a no, he isn't chant going. But my school went rogue. They didn't want to chant no, he isn't. They came up with their own chant. They went with, so are you. Which they nailed her. I don't know if you're following. Like, they nailed her, but they included me in the chant. Like, this woman called me ugly, and then everybody I'd ever met in my entire life in unison was like, totally. He is ugly. Absolutely. But also, you are. And I had to join that chant. I was like, yeah. We're both ugly. It felt like Family Feud. I'm like, okay, good answer. Yeah. That was the number one answer. And then I was like, what about no, he isn't? It was like, damn. I was like, what? No? Nobody said that? I thought like 6 or 7 people would have said no here. They're like, no, nobody. Whatever. Then I saw the girl after the game, and I was like, hey, maybe we should hook up. You know what I mean? We both just found out we're ugly. Why don't we... Let's go fuck. You know, I thought that would be... She didn't go for it. Whatever. Is this distracting? Should I move this? I don't like it this close, because I want to grab it when it's here. Guys, you're gonna shit. Get ready for this one. This is my impression of a British race car driver. You ready? Because it's over here, you see? Clip it. That's gotta be huge. It's one of those jokes that's really stupid, but I'm like, maybe that should be in the special. It's kind of funny. I don't know. This is another one like that I think is hilarious. I was watching you guys saw the Batman movie. Doesn't matter. It's not great. But at one point, Batman gets a cell phone call, and he answers his phone, but I thought he should have been like this. Hello? Yeah, it's crazy. His ears are up here. That's gold, guys. I don't know what to tell you. But... Anyways, my wife and I, we have sex, and it's pretty cool, is my point. Because I'm fun. Only a fun person comes up with that Batman gag. I think she likes me, you know? We were hanging out the other day. I don't know, I get nervous. I have like a lot of anxiety. I think it's a turn-off. Did you guys... We're in Greenwich Village right now. Did you guys get accosted outside at all? There's some... You did? Oh, great, nice. That was so genuine. You're like, yeah, as a matter of fact, we did. It's crazy out there, right? I'm scared. I got like fears now. I've had a couple run-ins. Some of you guys know the stories. I've had a couple run-ins with very aggressive homeless people this year. One was in Austin. 2 guys came up to me. They got right in my face, and they were like screaming at me. And then there was like a 3rd guy on a bike. I just took off. I run. I'm a runner. I have no pride. People ask me for directions in the city. I take off running. I don't give a shit. Then I came back to New York, right around the corner from here. I had a guy like do that shit. I was like, I'm like, I don't know what it is. I was telling my buddy, and then he was like, he goes, well, what are you saying to these guys? I was like, I think what you're doing is called victim blaming, I believe. I just learned this term. I think I'm using it correctly. What am I saying? Do you think I'm talking shit to homeless people? Is that the vibe I'm putting out? I don't know, I said I got $50. Fight me for it, bitch. Should I not have done that? Was that a mistake? Because I wanted to help them out, but I don't want to give them a free ride. So I threatened to fist fight them for cash. I'm like, I didn't say anything. And then you feel like self-conscious because I've run a few times this year, and I was talking to my buddy, and I was like, am I like I feel like a pussy. Am I a coward for running? And then my friend was like, no, you did the right thing. And I was like, thank you. And he goes, yeah, because if you hit one of those guys, they fall on the ground, crack their head open, you can go to jail. And I was like, yeah, that's why I ran. I would have killed those sons of bitches. You get me. These hands are goddamn weapons. As I was running with tears in my eyes, I was like, don't make me beat the shit out of you guys. Everybody's got an opinion. I was telling my other buddy about it. I got a couple incidences, you know? And he goes, this is why you need a gun. I've been telling you, you gotta get a gun. And I'm not anti-gun. I'm whatever you guys are. I want you guys... I agree with everybody, but... I just feel like, I could be wrong, I don't think my life would be going better right now if I had shot and killed 3 homeless people this year. I don't know. There's no way to know which way your life would have gone. I just feel like... People are like, how you been? Pretty good, traveling, doing a lot of shows, visited my mother. Oh, I shot 3 guys in the face. They were addicted to drugs. Nobody was helping them. They got kind of close to me, so I blew their brains out. There's a lot of paperwork, but it was cool, you know? Felt good. I'm not, whatever, gun, whatever. I'm just not, I don't think I have gun personality. That's the problem. I just don't picture myself being like, wow, woo! Do you still blow out your gun? I don't know if that happens anymore. When I was a kid, I think it'd be funny to shoot and then be like this instead. Again, not killer, but fun. That's a fun... Let me ask you this. I don't know, there's probably not a lot of gun owners. We're in Greenwich Village right now, but maybe some of you have guns. Does loading a gun feel anything like putting your AirPods back into the case? Because I feel like... I think I might be a gun guy. I never realized it. Like, the other day I was putting my AirPods, it kind of sucks them in. It's like... And then you snap it shut. I'm like, oh shit, my dick just moved. Maybe I need a gun, you know? AirPods are fun. They're versatile. The other day I came home and I had my AirPods in and my wife was like, how was your day? And I kind of was like that. I was like, pretty good. Cindy was being a bit... I like to pretend they're earrings. Just kind of like... just for a moment, you know? I like to... The other day I was here in New York and I had AirPods in, listening to some music, and I was crossing the street, and then the lights started to change. So I kind of like jogged, and then I don't know the physics behind this, but one of my AirPods fell out of my ear and it bounced, and somehow it bounced like straight up, and then I just caught it like in stride. I was running and I was like, whoa, and I caught it. And then the guy in his car went. I was like, it's the best I've ever felt in my entire life. Like literally, I think I peaked. And I've lived a full life. I mean, I've been on The Tonight Show, and I've gone to South America, and I went down on a woman once. I mean, I've lived. But this just felt like, whoa. Then I went home and told my wife, I was like, my AirPod bounced, and I caught it. And she was like, wow. And I was like, you don't get me like he does. When will you see me? I didn't know AirPods bounce. Now I want to like learn how to do it, like be at a party and be like, what? Thank you. This guy tried to get an applause break on that joke, so I appreciate you. God bless you. Now it's, there you go. With my help. Oh, thanks. That was the least genuine applause of all time in the history of comedy. Just like. The AirPod thing? That was a very begrudging applause break. All right, I guess. How hard is it to catch an AirPod? Whatever. But I'm fun. I think I'm fun. I think I'm funny. I think all these jokes are great. Some of you are sitting them out, but whatever. I think I'm funny. Sometimes you try to be funny and then the people don't think it's funny. I was hanging out with my wife. One lady's dying back there. And can we get a mic on that lady, please? Zhuzh this up a little. I was hanging with my wife and my mother-in-law the other day. The three of us were hanging out, and then my wife we were just kind of talking. My wife went, sometimes when I run, I pee a little. And then her mother was like, I think that's normal as you get older. And then I leaned in and I was like, I think it's probably my fault. And I gave a wink. Which, yeah. I thought that was pretty good. A little I'm destroying your daughter's pussy material. I thought that was damn funny right off the top of my head. She didn't love it. She was not into it, but... And then I was telling my buddy, and he goes, she probably didn't laugh because it's two different holes. And I was like, first of all, you just blew my mind. Second of all, I don't think that's why she didn't laugh. I don't think she was like, wait, what? And then I had this, I thought this was funny, and I was hanging out, I have a niece, and she's 10 years old, and then we were hanging out, and they have a family dog, and the dog's name is Penny, and she said, she went, come here, Penny, and then she turned to me and she said, I'm trying to teach the dog to come. Now, yeah, you guys are laughing already. That's funny. I thought it was funny also. Because come. Which, by the way, she's a child. I want you to know, I wasn't like, whoa, sicko, I kept a straight face. But I wanted to be like, choke it a little and be patient, I had that locked and loaded. Because I'm fun. But I didn't say it. I gotta wait like 10 years to be like, one time you said you wanted to teach the dog to come. Even then it won't be funny, though, because she'll be like, you've been thinking about this for 10 years? You creep. I told her mother, though. I thought this is where I went wrong. I told her mother, I was like, Brooke said she wanted to teach the dog to come. And then her mother was like, why are you saying that to me? What? And I was like, well, it's funny. Come. She was like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, well... the dog didn't come. I don't know why you're like, can't you remove yourself from the situation and see that that's... Anyways, I'm not allowed to see my niece anymore, but we had a good run. We had a fun 10 years together. That's a good length of time for a relationship, I think. Whatever. I think I'm funny, and I think I'm a smart guy, too. I think I can be a pilot. You guys ever think that? You ever got on a... Are you a pilot? Oh, okay. Do you think you could be a pilot, too? I think I could do it. You ever get on a commercial plane, you're like, I could fly this goddamn plane. Me and you, buddy. You got pilot head. You look like a pilot. You're well coiffed, you know? I don't think it's that hard. Are there any pilots here? Yeah, fuck pilots. I think it's a bullshit job. I don't think we need all this reverence. What is it? You do this thing. You push this is like the takeoff. Here we go. There's like a couple clicks, couple switches up here. And if you get the wrong one, there's another guy. He's like, no, it's these two over here. Right here. You got a buddy up there. How easy is that? I don't get a buddy. It's just me up here. I've done a couple of jokes that didn't go great. I can't be like, Pete, what do you think? You got a friend helping out, and then you land. That's just, you pull it back, click those down, you scoop off the head shit. That's easy. I drive a car. That's way harder. That's feet and hands and texting. It's very difficult. That's a lot. Plus, there's autopilot, too. Which you guys, I always heard about that, like computers fly the plane, which I always thought was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then, like, I started getting upgraded. When you fly first class, you learn. Did you know this? The pilot leaves the cockpit. I had no idea. I thought the pilot, the whole flight was like. They're not. It's not even stressful. They're like walking around. They like grab chips and slap flight attendants on the ass and shit. They're like, ugh. They're not even in there. Like, nobody gives a shit about a bus driver. Like, if you tell people you're a bus driver, no one's like, what? Whoa. But a bus driver can't get up and walk around. Like, if you're on a Greyhound reading and the bus driver's like, what are you reading? What's going on, buddy? You're like, what the fuck? I don't really think it's that easy. I don't think I could be a pilot. But I do. What bothers me is they do like a meet and greet. That's what they feel very full of themselves. Like we land and the pilot's just at the front of the plane like, ah? That was me. We're all gonna walk by one at a time like, nice, dude. I always want to be like, fuck you, I could have done that. You suck. Nice tie, you dork, you know? Sometimes they'll make jokes. You ever have that? You ever have like a pilot like come on and like crack jokes? That's what really, as a comedian, that really offends me. Every once in a while you get on a plane, the pilot's like, we might have a few bumps just like when my wife drives. And the whole plane's like, oh, did you hear him? I'm like, yeah, I heard him, he sucks. It's not funny. I'm like, you're just laughing because he has your life in his hands. That's why you think it's funny. If I could just kill all of you guys at any moment, you guys would be losing your shit at every joke. I do one of these bits at bombs, I'm like, all right, here we go. You're like, no, it was funny. That was funny. I was on a flight the other day, the guy next to me got up and went and used the bathroom in the middle of the flight, and then he came back, and when he comes back, he sits down, he goes, they got a window in the bathroom on this plane. And I was like, nice. And he goes, you can't open it, though. I'm like, I feel like I just learned two things about this fella. He's a fucking idiot and he just took a huge shit. Those are my hypotheses. Pretty sure that guy shit on the plane and he was like, oh, they got a oh no, you can't open. I gotta let my buddy know. So thanks for the heads up. I was gonna try to kick the windows out at 35,000 feet, but now that I know. I'm always traveling, and every weekend I'm like traveling. Check into a hotel. I'm always ordering a pizza. Every time I get to a hotel, I order pizza. You guys know me. I like to order a pizza, you know? But some hotels, it's very frustrating. Like, I don't know how often you guys order pizza in hotels, but I do it like every week. At some hotels, if it's like a shitty hotel, they just let the delivery guy, he'll like get in the elevator, he comes right up to your floor. He'll just like knock right on your door. Yeah, it's very nice. You don't have to put pants on. You can just be like, oh, thanks, dude. All right. But it's like nicer hotels, they don't want the delivery guy in the elevator, so you gotta come down to the lobby to meet them, which is very annoying. You're shaking your head. It's very annoying, right? Here's the most annoying part. Not that you have to leave your room. It's that, I don't know if you've ever gotten on a hotel elevator with a fresh pizza, but what happens is somebody else gets on the elevator with you, and then they say, hey, I hope you brought enough for everybody. Are we teaching that in community college? I don't understand. Literally, everybody said, hey, I got enough for everybody. And I never understand am I supposed to be like, what? Woo! Like, is it supposed to be hilarious? Or am I supposed to be like, I didn't bring enough for everybody. I go with it. This is what I do. I go, That's what I came up with. You know, like, when somebody's so dumb that you get dumber, you're like, whoa. I want to be like, I brought some for you. Yours is right here, you fucking piece of shit. You know, but that might just be my own. I guess there's just a lot of dumb folk. I'm not smart. I got glasses. I look smart, but I'm dumb. My friends are dumb. You ever do inventory of your friends and you're like, these are the dumbest people I've ever met in my whole life. I don't know how this worked out this way. Some of you are with them, so it's weird, but... I do, I look smart, but I'm dumb also. But my friends, do I ever like hang out? You know, like you're dumb and then your friends are dumb, so you're all dumb together. But then occasionally your friend will do something that takes it to another level where you're like, am I doing community service by hanging out with this person right now? I got a friend, we went to an art museum together. We're not really art guys, but I was like, whatever, we'll check out some art. How hard can that be, you know? We go to the museum, we're like 3 paintings in. Pretend this is a painting, right? We walk up to it. He's like this, wow, that is beautiful. Feel that. I swear to God, this is like an adult male American man, just like, oh, wow. And he's making this face, like, Like he's an intellectual, like taking it in. Wow, that is... And I was like, are you joking? Because if you're kidding, that's hilarious. I don't want to mess up a joke. If you're doing a bit, that's very good. But... And he was like, what? And then I had to tell him, like, earnestly, I was like, you don't touch paintings. And then he goes, why? And that's when I realized I'm only a little bit smarter than him. Because I was like, I actually don't know why. It is dry. The guy that painted it's dead. And I was like, you know what? Fuck, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can touch paintings. I'm an idiot. And I just started touching it. Touches paintings, by the way. That's a fun term for your friend who's kind of a dum-dum, you know? Like, I grew up in the 90s, and we used the word retarded a lot. That was a big word. Yeah, that's no good now. I mean, that's a swear. I don't know if they emailed you guys or whatever, but that's out. You'll get fired for that shit, But touches paintings, that's kind of a nice replacement, you know? I'm talking for your, like, friends, you know what I mean? Like your buddy who's, like, kind of a dum-dum. You're like, hey, this is Pete. He touches paintings. He's a fun guy. You're gonna like him. He goes to the museum. He touches the paintings. You're gonna like him. He's a fun son of an onion, this guy. Get him some paintings to touch. I'm just trying to be more progressive, you know? I got this friend. You ever have a friend like this? I was talking to my buddy the other day. I couldn't sleep. Sometimes you have trouble sleeping, you know? You get anxiety. I told my buddy, I was like, man, I couldn't sleep last night. And he goes, oh, you gotta sleep. I'm like, no, I know. I wanted to sleep. You're misunderstanding. I'm not quitting sleeping. I'd like to sleep again. I enjoy it. Then he tags it. He goes, lack of sleep can lead to dementia. Nice. Glad I brought this up with you and not somebody else. That's gonna help me tonight. Because last night, like an idiot, I was tossing and turning, not thinking about dementia. But tonight, I'll contemplate dementia. That'll help me. I don't think that's accurate, by the way. I don't think... Dementia's more, it's more than that. It's like genetics and shit. You don't just like have a night of not sleeping in your 40s and wake up with like a shit in your pants. Like, who the hell are you? I couldn't sleep last night. What is this? Is that too dark? All right, well. Here's some good sleep advice, by the way. I don't know if you ever heard this. Count backwards from 500 to fall asleep. Have you ever heard that? That's like to fall asleep because it focuses you on something so your brain's not going haywire, but then it's like boring enough that you'll fall asleep. That's good advice. It works. It works if it works. If it doesn't work, it's like a countdown to homicidal breakdown. You start counting, you get in the 20s, you're like, I don't think this is working out for me, you know? There's no way you're gonna be like, 3, 2, whoa, my God, I'm out. How did they time that so good? Fantastic. I was talking about how I could be a pilot. I don't think I could be a pilot. I was just kidding. But I do think, here's a job I think I could do. I think I could be a 911 operator. Do you guys ever... I know that's like whatever, but I watch a lot of murder docs and trials and shit. Are these like the meanest people we have in our society? Every 911 call is like, 911 emergency, what's your emergency? It's always like a woman who's like, my house is on fire. And then the first thing they're always like, ma'am, calm down. Like, right? That's the go-to opener, calm down. She's like, I'm sorry, it's just I have pets and they're on fire. Bitch, shut the fuck up. I'm like, how long are these shifts? Why are they so curt? I think I'd be good. I'm like a very empathetic person. I'd be like, 911, and then they're like, my husband's been shot. And I would be like, oh my God. Are you serious? Gee whiz. Wow. She's like, what do I do? And I'm like, therapy? I don't know. That's gonna... Yikes. I almost called 911 recently. I was walking. I was here in the village, right on this street, and I was walking up the street, and then there was an old lady walking, like a little way, like old, like pterodactyl old, you know. And she was like, ah. And then she tripped. This happened right over here. She tripped and fell like pretty hard. She didn't hit her face or anything, but she landed like pretty hard on her hands and knees. And I'm a hero. That's what this story's about. And I kind of like jogged over and I was like, ma'am, are you okay? I saw the whole, I could call 911 or a family member. And she was like, I think I'm okay. And I was like, okay. And then while I was doing it, this other guy came over and just like stepped in between it. He was like, ho, little lady, you all right there? And I was like, what the fuck is this? What, are you crazy? I was like, that's my old lady. I got her. I'm on it. I got cucked by some guy in the street. And he was like big too. Like he like helped her up with one arm and she like put her hand on his chest and she was like, oh dear. And she was like, I'm so glad you came by. And I was like, I came by. Are you kidding? And he walked her away like a dick. Like he was getting like married. Like, oh. And then he actually had like the gall to walk back over to me. He was like, that was crazy, huh? And I was like, what you did was crazy, you piece of shit. Him I would have shot. That's somebody I would have happily been like, Anyways. Sorry. I have a reflex problem and I've been blowing the homeless guy so they won't beat me up. And go ahead and cut that also. I don't know why I thought I would say that. We should start over, because you guys really loosened up around the 40-minute mark, I noticed, which is not ideal for a special. I'll be like one of those TV shows. You're like, you got to give it time, but it picks up around the 50th minute. People really start enjoying it. I'll tell you this story, and then I gotta go. Like I said, I travel a lot. This happened to me recently. I had some gig. I forget where it was. It was like a long travel day. You know when you have like a long travel day, you can't eat a full meal, so you're like starving, right? I was like so hungry, and then I landed, and I was very hungry. But I also had to, I don't want to get too weird, like gross, whatever. But Someday I'm gonna do a clean special. It'll be great. But I had to shit also. Which is kind of rare that you're hungry and you have to shit. Those are usually separate, right? It's weird when you're like, I need food in both directions right now. Anyways, I landed and I was like, I'll order a pizza. You guys know me. I like to order a pizza. So I checked into the hotel, ordered a pizza. Then I checked into the hotel. Then I went up, I used the bathroom, and I don't want to get into the gory details, but the toilet got clogged. No fault of my own. It was an old hotel. I like to wipe a lot. The toilet got clogged, which is embarrassing, because now I have to call the front desk, which is weird, because I just met this woman like 3 minutes earlier. I gotta be like, hey, it's me again. Sorry I was rushing you earlier. I was keeping a secret the whole time we were talking, and now you know. But she was very sweet. She was very discreet. She's like, I'll send maintenance. And I was like, great, thank you. Then about 25 minutes passed. I swear to God, this is a true story. About 20 minutes passed. I got a knock on the door. I open the door, and I swear to God, there's a pizza delivery guy and a plumber just standing, just looking at each other like, are you? And I'm like, you're both in the right place, boys. Come on in. I had to be like, you're in there. You're over here with me. And I think legally we all have to fuck right now because this is the most perfect porn plot. This might already exist. Pizza delivery, plumber, nerd, or whatever. The pizza guy's like, I'm here to stuff you up. And the plumber's like, I'm gonna unclog your pipes. And I'm on the bed and I'm like, I hope you brought enough for everybody. All right, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys very much. Thanks for coming. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Thanks.